And we are live. Welcome back to On the King's Dime. It's Monday night after a very good bounce back win on the weekend against Adelaide in Adelaide 2, I'm calling it. After we lost that first game last weekend, there was a bit of a somber episode, a little bit of a realization that this team may not be reaching the expectations that we thought it might reach. But the boys bounced back and got that win in Adelaide. We're here to discuss that and a lot more. As always, you can like and subscribe. We're on Facebook. We are also on YouTube. If you head over to YouTube, I'll be doing a video on the game analysis, both games, to see how we bounce back. Just make sure you keep an eye out for that. We are on Apple Podcasts as well in audio form. If you want to listen to this in audio form, we are on Apple Podcasts, and we aren't on Podcast Addict. We're on Google Store or something, or Google Podcasts. I don't use Android, so I have no idea how it works. So I'll have to get you to
on Spotify.
And it says we're supposed to be on Spotify, but I think I might have to go in and make like an account. So I'll do that, and we'll start spruiking that too. Because if you want to listen on Spotify, then you can also do that. So make sure you like and subscribe on Facebook as well. We're trying to put out a little bit more content, get a little bit more fan interactions. Thanks to everyone out there who has been participating in the fan 321, getting a lot of more votes flowing in now. Hopefully we get a few more through the end of the season. We'll get a bit more of an accurate picture on who the fans think is the best player in our team. So far, spoiler alert, DJ's getting a lot of votes and Jarrell Martin's getting a lot of votes, and both of those two guys have been playing really well. So first things first, you need to just put your screen down a little bit. You're like at the bottom. Toasty. First things first, shall we just quickly go back to the game prior and that loss and just sort of reflect on the way we felt after that game? It was a little bit like, oh man, I'm really worried about this team.
It was a bit of a worrisome experience. Just looking at that, going, they really can't score in stretches. Like, this is not good. Jarrell Martin's probably not a center; he's probably a power forward. Adam Ford must have been watching because he did start Jarrell Martin at power forward this game.
Yeah. We went with Hunter and Martin, which was an interesting wrinkle. I got some info coming on that.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad wrinkle, but it was just a bit of a realization. Wow, we're kind of injured, and it's really showing. And we may not be able to keep up with the best teams in the league. So we may be maybe in for a bit of a tough year. But
boys pulled it out.
Boys did.
It was a 94-75 win, so like a bit of a blowout in the end. There was some garbage time in that.
There was a lot of garbage time. There was actually more garbage time than I've seen in a very long time in the NBL. It was not a close game at all. And that third quarter just really cemented it and bring in the ring-ins. Q4, but they didn't have Donald Sloan, and he just kind of went, "I'm out of here."
Do we know anything about that? Any other insider information? No.
Pursuing opportunities overseas, so it must have been written into his contract. If you got a bigger offer, then he was out.
Get out of there. They have Josh Giddey, so there's a lot of like posts flying around on the NBL. Yeah, they're playing Giddey, and instead of him, what are you going to do? You're going to leave. I thought that was interesting too because it kind of gave Adelaide like one less playmaker. They relied a little bit more on Madronia and McVeigh. And I thought we saw like a little bit of, you don't have a little bit of Chubb in there to kind of negate the likes of Newley and Martin as well. Got free a few times, which was good to see.
Yeah, they really frustrated them on the offense this game. It looks like it was a bit more free-flowing. Jarrell Martin looked a lot better. They weren't just going into Humfo and DJ. I think that was the interesting thing. Jarrell Martin was going around the 18-foot mark, getting some shots, pulling them out of the paint. That first game, we just went at the basket too much. We did a little bit in quarter one, and then Andrew Gay is like, I really liked them going at the basket. I was just like, Humfo had 4 blocks in the first 7 minutes of this game, and they went, all right, let's stop that. Let's get outside, shoot some threes, get some long twos, get them moving, open up the lanes.
He was credited with 4 blocks, but 2 of those were just blatantly fouls.
Yeah, they were. But,
I've reviewed the footage, and I can tell you that 2 of those were fouls. And it actually, we'll talk about Humfo just real quick. It actually, I went and had a look at some of the previous games footage, and I'm just like, that would have been like a 12 and fouled out performance if the refs called a few of those fouls. which we don't give it enough sort of like the power we have inside isn't necessarily like overpowering bigs. Like it's more Jarrell sort of, crafty finish, who get drop step, a little hook. Jordan Hunter's inside games, it's ratchety, it's a little raspy and a little raw around the edges. But in this game, like we were looking to get to the basket, but is there another option? Okay, well, like a dump off, like a kick out. We got Jarrell Martin sort of shooting a few more threes, which is good. He hit 3 of 6 from 3. He hadn't really been shooting the 3 that well. And it was just like like a better buffet of offense than, driving to the paint just straight into 2 bigs and then expecting us to, score in bunches, which didn't really happen.
No, it was definitely a lot better outside shooting this game, which coupled with good defense, I think you have to really give credit to what they did inside the paint, not letting Humfo operate too freely, making DJ take kind of that 20-foot shot, and not really getting inside. So that was very good to see. But
and DJ can hit him. Like I think they really rinsed us in that game 1 where they could go inside to Humfo and then kick it back out, and DJ would just come all the way back out and they'd swing it around to him and he could hit that 3, from the 11 o'clock spot on the left-hand side. And they couldn't really get that going because a lot of what Humfo was doing inside, we were kind of negating with the 2 Chubb bigs, which was really good to see. Hunter played some really good minutes. He only had 4 points, but ended up with 11 boards. We rebounded the ball a lot better in this game. He had 2 blocks as well. One of them was a bit sus, but that's all right. We'll take that. Jarrell, we'll talk just quickly about Jarrell. I think his impact would be a lot better if we had a proper big, like one of the better bigs in the league. Like if we had a DJ in this team, like a Cam Oliver or someone, like I think he would operate so much better just as a guy who you just go toss it in and just score. Like, you don't need to block shots. You don't need to be a chase down offense guy, a chase down on defense type of guy.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is that if you had an elite big that was a scoring weapon of some kind, it would take a lot of the emphasis away from, putting a 5 on Jarrell Martin to kind of overpower him. He'd be playing against guys a bit smaller most of the time and probably, less of that rim experience. But it kind of, if Hunter was more of an offensive weapon, I'd say it would give Jarrell Martin even more scoring opportunities. But the other thing is as well, man, you just got to get out of his way. If he's playing on the left side block, you got to give him space to spin and to operate. And I think in the first game they weren't really doing that. They were just crowding the lanes, and 2 guys would go up, and it wasn't really working. So you got to let him swing around and potentially throw a little hook or a push shot, and kind of get out of his way if he's on the one-on-one ISO. But much better in this game at doing that. And then that also, gets DJ, running off ball a lot better. It gets Casper running off ball a lot better. We didn't see that game 1. We saw a lot of standing around in kind of bunches.
And a little bit too much of sort of Craig Moller mulling around down low. That kind of cramped the spacing. Like not trying to rag on him, but he actually started off the bench in this game, and I think it actually it opened us up a little bit more.
Yes.
With the kind of 3 guard action as well as the 2 guys down low, sort of chubbing it up with size, as opposed to like having to score the ball. Like in a way, Hunter, he's a little bit raw. He's rough around the edges, but at the same time, he doesn't always look to score the ball, which kind of like that's a plus. Like at least he's not a guy, an irrational sort of guy who just goes, you know what, I'm putting up a hook shot. I'm going to dream shake, and then I'm going back to my right hand type of thing. Like we saw in Brisbane and again in game 1, it kind of works. And I like it, but there were still a few moments where he ran up court while the ball was still live, and you're just like, dude, can you not do that, please? Just back down low. Like, what are you doing? Yes. So I think we just got to take that this season. Take those kinds of knocks. He tries hard. It was good to see. He had a good bounce back game. Plus 23 on the night, which was good. 11 boards. Let's talk Shawnee Bruce. 2 points, 0 of 2, not taking shots, but 7 assists.
Yeah, that's an issue when you've got Moller, Hunter, and him on the floor, because you've really only got 2 scoring options. And I think that's where we've got to get better lineups to match Sean. Like, get DJ on the floor with Brucey, get Jarrell Martin on the floor with Brucey, because he can get them open and get them into spots where it's it's easy money. Him and Casper doesn't work on the floor at the same time at all. Like,
it's rough, man. It is rough. Like the three guard type action where it was Bruce, DJ, and Ware kind of works. But Bruce is kind of like, and he'll dime guys up, but it's not like an NBA game where you can have like 15, 16 dimes, and like it doesn't work like that. And if he's open and he can shoot the ball, he'll shoot the ball. But he's also I'm all right, I don't have to shoot it type of guy too, which I don't think it does. I don't think it really fits with DJ and Ware. And then again, like we said last week, you look at this licorice all sorts off the bench, and it's like, who am I gluing together? Like, some pallets that have been floating in the river and some sink air.
How good is Vodanovic? He is no fear, just to wake up threes.
Yeah, it was great. I love it. And he brings the ball up on offense so much, man. And actually, like he can actually see a pass, which is, I saw that a couple of times looking at the footage. Like he brings it up and he can see a pass. And I think like as the season progresses, it's going to help Newley a little bit because he dimed Newley up for a three, which was pretty good. He ran baseline, came out and shot a three, which was good. Yeah, no fear. It's good. He doesn't quite have the size. Doesn't quite have it. Like he's kind of a small forward playing as a forward type of thing, or a center almost.
Yeah, he's kind of in that in between range. But he's got a smooth shot. Like it's not horrible to watch, and it's quick. And maybe there's a hot streak in there where just he gets dined up and shoots 5 or 6 in the night. I feel that there's some sort of weird hot streak coming from it.
Yeah, it just makes things happen, man. Just clicks. I'll be interested to see later in the season when we've got all the guys back how much he features. Like whether he just goes back to like 6 a night type guy, DP type minutes. But I think it's all right. I like the no fear. Maybe if he was shooting 1 of 8 or something like that every night, you'd be like, man,
he kind of takes 2. He gets 1 and maybe airballs and he puts it back in the court. And he tries hard. That's all you need. Get hot. Get it in. And yeah, you wouldn't want to take him 5 or 6 shots on a night, but
yeah, 3's enough. 3's enough, Tommy. So DJ again had another pretty good night, I thought, and wasn't the spectacular night he had the other night. It's kind of carrying us. This was a little bit more measured. He brought out a couple of set jumpers too, which I thought was really good. There was he went to
running, floating.
That Dirk style, like off of his wrong foot. I think the first one in the first game was almost identical. I'll probably put it in the video, but it was almost identical. I'm sure it was off the wrong foot.
Yeah.
And that is like, it went down. I was like, wow, sweet. It was over DJ, the first one. The second one, I'm not sure. I can't remember who it was over, but he had one that was identical. And he's hitting those wing spot ups too, like catch and shoot type scenarios, which if he can do that, that's going to be a huge, huge weapon. And he's showing he can handle, which is really good. He had 5 assists as well. And that's going to be massive, I think. If he can develop as a young guy with no fear and fit what the offense is doing, like it's going to be a massive, massive plus for us down the end of the season.
He's on the cusp of being NBA potential. I think he's no fear enough, has good enough handles, and can score in a variety. Like, there's no one in the league that can really get to the hoop as well, like quickly. Is decent around the hoop, can shoot in the mid-range, and then just fang threes out of nowhere. There's really no other player that maybe Chris Goulding. Maybe but he's quicker as well, and
he's so nuggety.
Yeah,
his neck too, like neck's too wide, maybe. Nah, he's got a big neck. He's just such a nuggety little dude, man. It's good, and he likes to fight down low, which is good as well. And he's strong. I think that floater game should come out a little bit more down the stretch of this season. I think you should start working on it now. If towards the end of the season, when we've got these scenarios where we can't shoot our way out of trouble from the 3-point line, he can go inside and get these elbow jumpers and this array of floaters and these little Dirk sort of step back jumpers. I think like you're already seeing like, oh, that could be a decent way to score the ball.
Look, I think that a good lineup that I'm looking forward to is Casper, DJ, and Didi, followed by Martin and Hunter. I think that is a weapon lineup that you can, defend well and get through the depths of the game with a variety of options to go to, which will be good to see. So I think that just, that injury kind of just breaks that piece a little with having to push DJ out to small forward or having Moller as like an oversized small forward that can crash boards but can't really score.
Yeah. He's He's a strange player, man. And he actually offensively gave us a little boost. 5 or 6 from the free throw line. He got to the line a couple of times, which were really good. He was actually sort of isolating McVeigh a little bit and getting to the hoop, which was good. McVeigh hit 2 threes in this game and then gave it like the shake of the head, like, you can't guard me. And then the next trip he ran baseline, Newly came out of nowhere and just blocked his shot. And was just like, well, I guess he can stop you then. Like, it was a solid block as well. It was good to see, like, we didn't let him get going. He can shoot the ball. He showed in that last game and in some of the other games that he can shoot the ball. He can get hot. Madronya can shoot the ball as well. He only had 1 of 3 on the night, but he can kind of score the ball and get to the foul line as well. Pinder, I don't know about that hair. Like, very Ezekiel from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I was just like, where's your tiger, bro? Like, what's going on, like, with that hair? Bit sus. But I think he can score the ball better. Like, he looks like a guy that, doesn't know any of his teammates. Like the guy that just rocks up at the rec center and he's just like, oh, I don't want to be too, like, grab the ball and score. Like, I'll just, sit in the spots and, kind of a little bit of a third wheel on that team.
Yep. And it's interesting as well because we can talk about Giddy a bit. Giddy is like a discount Ben Simmons. He can't shoot. Can't really score inside as well. That's kind of, it's a bit of a worry. Especially when you're lacking, when shots aren't dropping from your big guys like Humpo and DJ and McVeigh. He's got to be able to score. But no, look, I'm sure Adelaide will bounce back. I still rate them as a team. I think losing Donald Sloan does hurt because Donald Sloan was a kind of 14 to 20 a night guy. And that's, a wrinkle in the offense they're going to miss. Maybe they'll pick up someone fairly soon.
Jonah. Obligatory every time. Every time there's a spot to fill Jonah.
Probably going to need a guard.
Yeah, I think Giddy actually looks really good. He was trying to get Humphreys going. Like, you could see in that game, he was trying to get something going. He just couldn't get anything to go. And he looks like a guy who will happily help his teammates get going before he just takes the ball and scores. Like, I don't think he's just a natural, I'm going to score this ball type of player. Not. It's a real contrast in DJ and Giddy's kind of not attitude, but just kind of the way they play the game. Like, you can tell DJ's got no fear. He'll just, I don't care if I score it. You block me, I don't care. I'll just shoot it again. Who cares? Whereas Giddy, I thought, kind of couldn't get Humphreys going. He struggled a little bit in that second and third quarter, and you were just a little bit like what's he doing? I think he had a couple of layups. One he missed. I'm pretty sure it was Newley or someone came over and, like, really kind of contested his shot. It threw him a little bit, and he was like, I won't go to the hole. I think he had 2 dribbles where he dribbled in and then dribbled back out, and it was just like, he doesn't want this. Like, what the hell?
No.
Which, he'll have to clean that up. Just on Newley, another solid night.
Solid. Didn't
have any foul trouble. 9 points. Just shooting the 3-ball, man, so well. It's crazy.
It's that, it's like that corner and probably around about out to the 9 o'clock. That's his spot. Can we get to the crescendo of the night, which was Casper Ware's performance?
Yes.
Wow.
Sustainable? If he plays like this, I think it's sustainable.
Yes. Just monstrous. Just great. That was the best night of basketball he's had in a Sydney Kings uniform.
I think so. I think that's his best performance, even through last year. There was that Melbourne game he had 30. I'm pretty sure he had 30 where he just was lighting
this
up.
Game. Yeah,
this game it had everything. Like, it was everything. It was almost like that other performance against the Taipans where you're just like, wow, that was a mature performance. You didn't just try and shoot your way out of trouble. You had one sort of chalky bank shot off the glass that went in, and you were like, okay, it must be your night. And he was just getting shots in the flow of the offense, and he was looking for guys to, dime them up. I heard Ford say in the timeout, we're going to go to that wave, and that's basically as someone comes up high and the big comes up and shoots, and it was Jarrell was shooting from that 11 o'clock spot on the other wing, and it was like it was Casper's shot, but the gravity of, that's Casper's shot, quick, get to him and guard him, was getting guys open, which was good.
Yeah.
And I think he'll learn through the season that when he's shooting the ball, he'll start to get that gravity back, because I think that's what he lost. Everyone's kind of like, yeah, shoot it, man. Like, you're shooting 1 of 8, you're having these games of like 2 and 8, 2 and 9. Sweet, keep shooting it. We want you to shoot it. Whereas I think he's starting to get that gravity. Like, in this performance, he started to get the gravity back, and it was getting other guys open, which was really good. 8 of 16, 6 of 10 from 3. Good in rhythm threes too. He wasn't just chucking them up.
No, he was open for a lot of them, which was even better.
Newley had one awesome where he kind of just ran out off a rub screen on the left side, on the weak side, and Newley just like fired it at him, and he just straight up and just shot it. It was like really nice form too, and just like, okay, this is a good night for him.
Could be back.
Yeah, which is good. I think it's sustainable if he doesn't try and shoot his way out of trouble. Like, feels like he's acknowledged that, okay, I'm not shooting the ball well. I'll use the rhythm of the game to get me better looks, and if I don't knock those down, I'll try and do other things and help the team in other ways.
Yeah.
Whereas, felt a little bit anxious him shooting the ball recently, and when it wasn't going down, I was just like, I'll knock one in eventually, boys. He was sort of saying in I think it was a halftime or was it a full-time little interview that he did. He was saying I think it was full-time. He was trying to keep his level up as high as he could, just to keep the team's level up. And hearing that, I was like, okay, that's something like a captain would say. And I was sort of thinking at the start of the season, I don't know if he's captain material, but these two performances, the Taipans and the Adelaide game, I've seen, wow, that's some actual maturity that's translated into making your game better and making the team better. So I was pretty chuffed with that performance.
It was very, very good and well deserved of the 4 points that I am going to give him.
4 points?
3 points.
3 points. I was like 3 and 1. Nice.
And one.
Speaking of, man, can he get a foul? Like, can he get fouls?
No,
he got crunched twice again in that game. I'm just like, I don't understand, man. I'm watching these other games, like, Cotton, even Machado. Oh, Machado is kind of not really getting these calls as well, but it's those ones where, like, you go up, you got the step on the player, and the guy comes at you from behind and kind of hits you in the shoulder. And yeah, all right, you kind of go back into the guy to lay it in, but he just does not get those, man. I don't know why. Like, they're mostly fouls every time, and he just doesn't get them. It's just brutal.
Mate.
Do we anything else to discuss? Kernich Drew came out. He has arms, legs, and a beating heart, presumably, and some lungs and legs. His legs propel him, and he does stuff on the court. I don't know.
Didn't he play for Cairns last year or the year before?
Yeah, I think he came from Cairns, but it's just like a body. Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, you're looking for some work, buddy? We got 4 weeks worth of work for you. Come
bring it. Fruit Pickers. Fruit Pickers Growers Association. Get him from Growcon, mate. But yeah, I just was a bit like, well, those minutes, the same as Galloway gave us or Woodhill. It's like same thing.
Yeah.
Although I was kind of expecting Vodanovic to be the same way. But you can see Vodanovic is like, okay, that's kind of a next level up.
Yeah, it's definitely better quality.
He looks thin too. He's kind of got that stick guard type body.
Crispy, yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how he goes. 3-1 MVP we'll move on to. So nothing else from the game. I'm just going to have a quick look at the summary of stats. DJ 21. We shot the 3 at 41%. If we're going to be shooting 41%, we're going to be tough to beat. 7 assists for Sean Bruce, which was pretty sweet. How good was that dime that he dimed up Caspar, like diving out of bounds? Tossed it pretty much all the way over to the other side of the court. That was nuts. Absolutely crazy. All right, 3-2-1 MVP. I had Ware for my 3, obviously.
Yes.
Ware for you?
Yes.
Your 2?
Martin.
Such a bang up dude. Yeah, how good are his interviews? Yeah, we're just playing hard. Coaches, there's a great group of guys. He's just like, what a top bloke. Great teammate.
And one DJ.
DJ, yes, I had DJ as well. So yeah, rounding that out. Thanks everyone too for the fan MVP, getting in on those 3-2-1 fan MVPs. We're getting a good tally going. So shout out, don't be shy. Get in there and make sure you get in 3-2-1. I'll post them after every game. So it doesn't matter which post you post it on, I post it. And then you post your 3-2-1 and I like it. So I make sure I've written it in. Tips.
Jeez, bad week. Game
a struggler.
Ongoing.
The Types are 33 seconds away from claiming victory. I'm going to go in and update that the Taipans have the win. After the game one where the Breakers just beat them, and it was just like, are you kidding? Like, what the
this
hell?
was weird.
It's crazy week. But so I'll put that ladder out this week. Round 5, starting with Illawarra at home to United. My goodness, I had to put that
United,
like.
I can't go past United.
Yeah,
Streak
they
has
got a
been
couple of
broken.
injuries. Ooh. Goulding's injured and Shea Ely's injured. Ooh, interesting. But they got it done against Perth without those two.
Yeah, no, Goulding played against Perth.
I think he got injured in that game.
He got injured in that game. Yeah, Jack White.
I think they looked rough though in that third and fourth. But like Udai Barber went off. Sorry, I'm just like talking on
I'm
the top
going
of it.
Hawks. I'm going Hawks.
All right, mate. I'm going blind here. Usually I've got my tips lined up. I'm going to go United. I think they'll beat the Hawks. They kind of got a better array of bigs. Phoenix at home to Perth.
Phoenix.
Wow, Perth's like off the Perth. You're saying Perth 1 and 3 to start the season. Wow, I'm going Perth. They'll bounce back. Jesse Wagstaff will probably lay the ball in off an inbound instead of losing the game like a muppet. The Kings are at home for the first time this season to the Breakers.
Yep. Kings.
I will also go Kings. I should just put Kings for every time we enter in the Kings because I'm never going to tip against them. Although I did last time and they freaking won. United at home to the Taipans.
I think the Taipans are on a run, man. I'm going to go Taipans.
Taipans. I'm going to ride this United train for a little bit longer. Because did you hear Landau was like, yeah, I think we got the team to go undefeated through the entire season. And now every interview, they always ask him about it. When are you going to lose, mate? When are you going to lose, eh? You going to lose, are you? No?
Yeah, Golding's a big loss, man. Depends how long he's out for. And Shea Ely's just such a grub that he's a big loss as well. I mean, Mitch McCarron can take that team, but I think it's going to be hard.
The Bullets are at home to Adelaide.
I'm going to go Adelaide bounce back.
Yeah. I think I will also go Adelaide. Oh, no. Biggs. Hodgson.
Hodge and Humfer. It's a good matchup.
Yeah, it is too. And then you got DJ on the greatest disappointment in Froling. Ooh. Froling, like a breakout Froling game because it's against Adelaide? Nah.
No, that dude's fallen off a cliff.
All right, I'm going Adelaide. Kings are then at home again to the Hawks. Tough.
I'm going to go Kings.
Yeah, I'm going Kings also.
Because it's at home.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a nice little win against the Breakers, a little confidence booster, and then get a win against the Hawks after they lose to the Melbourne United. Phoenix again at home to Perth.
Phoenix.
Wow, you're on that. You had that one loaded up.
Yep.
Oh no, I've just lost it. Yeah, there we go. Phoenix, and I'm gonna have to like rack up some points on you, so I'm just gonna have to tip opposite. 36 is at home to the Bullets.
This is a big weekend
to finish a rematch.
36s.
I'm just gonna double check that I didn't stuff that up. That feels like I stuffed that up.
Feels like a long round.
Feels like I've just entered games in twice. Oh, no, I haven't. So Brisbane playing Adelaide, then Sydney playing Hawks at home, then Phoenix, Perth, Adelaide, Brisbane. Okay, yeah, it works. So, yeah, 36 is at home now to the Bullets. Take it back.
36ers.
The 36ers.
Hopefully they sign a new guard this week and he's here.
36ers. I think that's a safe
bet.
So yeah, don't forget there's a couple of postponed rounds also. Perth Breakers and a Taipans Bullets. Two Perth Breakers and a Taipans Bullets. We'll definitely slip them in somewhere and make sure we get ahead of the NBL. I feel like the NBL is just going to start throwing games at us randomly, like they did this Taipans Bullets game. This Taipans Breakers game, where they were just like, whoop, 2 days out, here's a game. It was like, whoa, okay, no worries, sure.
So yeah, when did they start?
The cup soon?
The cup thing starts in round 6, which isn't really a cup. It's just a whole bunch of games played at the same stadium over like a week or two. It's just bizarre. I don't get it. Anyway, that goes to that goes from round 6 to round 9. It's all been played in Melbourne. That's just weird.
I'm not on that train, man.
No, not at all. That's just.
I was happy to I'll reiterate. I was happy to hear a cup. Sweet, let's get like Euro ball styles going, and then it was just like No, it's part of the regular season. What? That doesn't make sense. What are we doing here?
So, how many rounds have they limited this season to?
Don't know. I feel like it's that
17?
meme, the meme of the chick with all the chalk drawings, like,
Yeah.
or it's the other guy like on the wall, like going. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just taking it game by game, taking it day by day. Working hard during the week and then doing it on match day. All right, little Breakers talk, little
Yep.
Kings versus Breakers preview. What are you feeling?
I'm feeling that the Kings bigs are just going to absolutely hammer the Breakers. Lamar Patterson is in career worst form, and if he's not scoring,
he's looking. It's Jimbo Slice, man. It's really he's looking like Harden at the end there. It's crazy.
yeah, I just
It's
think
a worry. Like I like him though. Like I think he's a good player, but he always felt like a guy that if you just got under his skin, it's just like, well, that ends his night type of thing.
he just felt like a guy that just wanted to score 20 points a night and then say, "Yep, I'm done."
Yeah.
Defense is exiting the building.
Yeah, clock the thing, and then
Clock
sweet.
out.
Well,
Yep,
I
that's
scored
it,
the
mate.
ball, boys. So what more do you want? A
Yeah,
couple of stops. Come on, boys. That's a bit too much to ask.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at their game tonight. Ty Webster. The Websters can be dangerous. They can get hot, and Webster up against Casper might be a little tough matchup. Delaney, Abercrombie. Delaney I like, but I like him more when he's grafting and just playing hard and does things that make you go, oh Finn Delaney plays hard. I think he kind of started the season quite well. What do you have in this game? 11 points, 5 of 8, everything from inside. Abercrombie's getting a bit old. Rob Lowe, Rasmus Bark. It's a pretty sorry team. Lamar Patterson came off the bench in this game. Holy moly!
Like they've got Jared Weeks. He can get hot from time to time. But their whole team last year was pretty much Scotty Hobson, and him just putting up crazy games. And then the Breakers is maybe there, but that team without that one guy is just it's a bit of a B league.
Yeah, it's hard. Now we're probably going to lose against them. Not putting touch wood. It's a bit. It feels like a team that maybe in 2 months might be. The Breakers have put together 4 in a row. Can you believe it? After they've got no chance of making the finals, but they put together 4 in a row. Let's get excited.
It's pretty hard because they don't really have their home court advantage at all this season, and so they're just essentially an away team, kind of floating in the wind.
Punching the clock and being like, let's wait till
let's just get paid this year and have a job, and then next year maybe they'll have a home team.
Yeah, so we'll be in the build. Well, the Kings will be in the building for this game, so that's good. It will be interesting to see how we react at home with the crowd. It'll be a pretty solid crowd. I think people will be itching to get out there and support the team. Having 4 games on the road to start the season, or 5 games on the road to start the season.
Quite a few.
I think everyone's going to be chomping at the bit too, really in there, making it loud. Be interested to see what the club, the franchise itself has in store. Like you'd want to think that the club's kind of going, let's all get in there, make it loud, like get the atmosphere going, get pumped up, have
Except
people.
there will be no loud chanting and no singing.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, because of COVID. Here I am just sitting here being like, you know what, this is great. Oh wait, it's pandemic. Whoops.
Pretty sure we'll all have to be masked up as well.
That's all right. If you have to,
do it. That's cool. It's the
I can still yell in my mask. My voice. I'm pretty sure I did something to my voice at that Melbourne game when we beat them. That was such a good night though. God. And then that car drove past and just splashed the absolute balls out of me, man. That was brutal.
Yeah, that was great. It was
I didn't care because we'd just beaten Melbourne. It was great yelling at Chris Goulding. What about the Hawks? Do you reckon they've kind of now hit a little bit of a stumbling block? And
the Gorge, man, the Gorge.
He's so good, man.
Don't write off the Gorge.
And how good was that meme I posted of Wolverine being like, "Oh, when can we have him back?" He's so good. That team, I don't know, man. It's like well coached but inexperienced. If that makes sense.
It's well coached but inexperienced, but it is well coached, and that's where I think if it's a close game, we could be in a bit of trouble. But if we played like the other night, I don't think we would have any trouble. We just got to play like that, we've got to put the right lineups on the floor. score a lot of points. And there's a couple of guys on the team that can do that. And Jerome Martin was always struggling with fitness the first couple of games. He looks a lot fitter this last 2 games.
Yeah, smoother. And if you take a lot of the defensive load off him, he doesn't just blow out having to play defense.
Yeah,
which I think he's good, but he's not a center. You can't expect him to just bang down low the entire game, yet play like a face-up scorer at the same time. Because he doesn't have that explosive power to rinse guys off the dribble and get to the hoop with power. Like a guy like Cam Oliver where, 2 steps to the rim, he's going to dunk all over you type of thing. He doesn't have that kind of power. I'm just looking at the Hawks as bigs. Ogilvy started the last game. Sam Froling's a bit like a discount DJ, a bit of a
he's kind of a stretch 4, really.
Yeah.
Not really. I wouldn't call him a big.
He's been playing center and power forward for him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a small big. He's skilled though. And he actually has an underrated kind of array of moves around the basket. Might be a little bit of a worry Hunter. But I kind of like the matchup against Ogilvy and Froling for Hunter more than some of the more elite bigs in the league. You're going into those games going, Hunter, oh. But in a game against the Hawks or the Breakers, you kind of okay, I can handle Hunter. I think he's at that level where he's not, banging it with the best bigs in the league, and he can kind of give you a string of performances, which are pretty solid.
Yep. Especially if he kind of doesn't take that, I need to score roll on and just hey, I'm here to, rim protect, grab boards and, take the shine off Martin.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at this box score. Dengadell's back. He had 17 points in that loss. Bairstow had 15 points in that loss in 15 minutes.
We forget that Cam Bairstow is ex-NBA.
Yeah,
he was drafted.
He
was drafted to the Bulls. Come on, let's he went in at 32.
I was eligible for the draft. They didn't draft me, but But you know what I mean? It's like that. It's not whoa, man, Josh Green, he's, struggling to make that Dallas lineup. It's kind of Bairstow was a bit of a...
He wasn't do that much. He was theoretical draft pick, but he was drafted. Let's be real.
He's me trying to play it down. Probably come out and have 28 and 12, just totally destroy us.
He's a solid player. I do rate him, especially in this league. Good savvy vet, and yeah, you don't sleep on Dengadell, man. When he was playing for the Raptors 905, he was elite.
He's someone I'm more worried about. He's kind of more got the power and the downhill explosiveness to kind of exploit
and can score when in bunches. And hasn't had a lot of game time over the last year or two, and is at. I mean, he played for Cleveland and kind of just stood in the corner and looked like a basketball player for about 30 games, but he did get a contract with the Cavs, so there is talent there, and could potentially head back over there at some time in the not too distant future. So be wary of the Hawks.
Yeah. Just to back up my trash talking, Cam Bairstow played a total of 167 minutes in the NBA in 2 seasons. So is that ex-NBA really?
Well, is it ex-NBA? He was drafted.
I think I'd be happier to call Dengadell ex-NBA.
Dengadell is ex-NBA. However, Dengadell was not drafted. He went as undrafted. Cam Bairstow was technically drafted.
Dengadell was undrafted. Where did he come from? Was it Adelaide?
No. He was college and went.
He did go to college. Why am I mixing that up? I'm dang misdiagnosis. Damn. I don't know. For some reason, I thought he was playing in the NBL. Speaking of which, we're having Vodanovic misdiagnoses, man, on DJ.
Oh, yeah, they were terrible.
There's been 3 of them. I'm sure there's been 3 of them where he's called DJ Vodanovic. And I was like, whoa, man. One has a CH and one has a C, dude. Get it right. It's just, that's bad, man. But yeah, it was almost as bad as the Deng misdiagnosis when we had Deng Akuth and Deng. They'd call they would be all over the place. There'd be Dengs flying everywhere. Nobody would know what was going on. So yeah, I think that's it for this episode. A great bounce back win. I think I'm quietly happier about this team going forward now than I was last week. I was more in an acceptance mode. We are pretty crap. And you just kind of got to accept that this might be a down year. But now I'm I'm seeing a few shoots of if we can get some players back and.
Yeah, I think it would be good when Kickett comes back. I think it gives us that savvy vet experience and can shoot 50, 40, 90, and play a little bit down low. That could give us scoring options in lineups where Jordan Hunter's not on the floor. And I think that's really I think this is what it really needs to be, is that Jerome Martin plays power forward, and that's a lock. And we kind of rotate that center position between Hunter or kick it when he gets back. So that would be very much valuable. And he's only a week away, I think. I think he'll be down for the rotation or the cup thing, where you can win each team can win a free Macca's for a week.
Yeah, speaking of, didn't Jarrell give away burgers in this game?
He did, yes. HJ's.
Oh, man. Burger. Have you guys heard of Burger King? I've been watching Silicon Valley. It just reminds me of giving away burgers in the NBL. All of these breadings have sesame seeds. So as always, we're going to wrap it up there. As always, like, share, and subscribe on Facebook, on YouTube. You can listen to us in audio form on Podcast Addict. Yeah, no, sorry, not Podcast Addict. On Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts.
I just checked. We are on Spotify.
And we are on Spotify too. So if you're on Spotify, you want to listen to us, make sure you head over there if that's your preferred platform. If you want us to put it on a platform, let us know. Send us a message, or send us a post on any of our posts. And as always, the 3-2-1 MVP as well. Get in on that. We are now going to do a Boomers wrap up. So if anyone's into the NBA and has a spare half an hour to hear us talk about the NBA, we do Aussies taking over the NBA. So make sure you give them a look on Facebook and on YouTube. We'll be there to talk about the upcoming Boomer squad. We're going there right now to do it. And as always, we will see you guys next time
on the King's Dime.